Give me a little précis of where you are.
Yeah, so I was in a very bad hit and run. On impact, I was carried about 50 yards. Neck fractured, my skull fractured. I broke my shoulder and my collarbone. I broke my pelvis and my hip. And I broke my knee in 5 places.
Courtney, I'm so sorry.
When I saw you and all the good results you'd had with other people.
You're saying, yes, I am going to look after myself. And well done for booking a treatment like this. Oh, how different. Gosh, you're really responsive to this. To introduce my hands to the whole back, neck and shoulders. Courtney, this is your time. You have given yourself the gift. You'll find yourself floating like a cloud. Feeling a little crunch there, and then pulling that one up and over. And then covering the same line, beautifully absorbed by Mother Earth, come back to us as goodness. Down that hand and out, back to the start for a sacral, cervical stretch. Everything is okay. Hi. Why are we giggling? I don't know. So, Courtney, you have travelled a long way, and I really appreciate you booking in. And I was just saying to you how much admiration I have for you young girls who are saying, yes, I'm going to look after my health and I'm going to do something about it. And here you are. So I've read your consultation notes, but if you don't mind, give me a little précis of where you are.
Yeah, so I was in a very bad hit and runs 5 years ago when I was training for the London Marathon in Clapham, where I lived. And on impact, I was carried about 50 yards and then I was flipped. And then on impact, I had my neck fractured, my skull fractured. I broke my shoulder and my collarbone. I broke my pelvis and my hip. And I broke my knee in 5 places.
Oh my goodness.
So I was in a wheelchair for quite a long time following that.
Courtney, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal at the time, but now I think it's all part of like a bigger plan.
Okay.
I'm not a religious person, but I do think the universe works in certain ways.
Spiritual. You know, there is a spirituality. It doesn't have to be a religious spirituality.
Yeah, for sure. But I think ever since then, especially with the cold as well, my brakes almost react worse at this time of year.
Right.
Everything, I work out every single day, but everything gets achy in the cold.
Yeah.
Then last year, as a result, they think of the trauma of the accident.
Right.
I went into DKA, which is diabetic ketosis acidosis.
Right.
Which is when your pancreas is completely shut down because the immune system has attacked itself.
Oh.
And that's how you get type 1 diabetes. So it's a very different type of diabetes to what... There's not a lot of knowledge about it either. Not a lot of people have an understanding.
Okay.
Ever since then, because I have to inject daily and, you know, that can cause bruising and pain and stuff like that, I'm trying basically every way to look after my body in every other way that I can.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever therapies that might be.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when I saw you and, like, all the good results you'd had with other people, I was like, I want to do this. It's just so lucky that you are so close to my parents. Otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's a long trip from London.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming. So, a couple of questions. Do you remember the accident?
So I had very bad PTSD from the accident. I also, which is quite, like, it's very rare, but because I had a head injury, I also had extensive retrograde amnesia. Yeah. Which means I lost all of my long-term memory. Which is still not returned to this day.
Even you can't remember being a little girl?
Or going to uni or school or my parents, my sister.
You made all my hairs go up. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been quite wild. Yeah. So I had to learn everything again.
How long ago was the accident?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And still nothing's returned?
Nothing. People have, like, played music. They thought that might trigger something. They've shown me photos. But it's kind of like, do you ever lose something in your handbag and you can't find it? And everyone's like, I know it's there, and they tell you what it looks like. But if you can't find it in your handbag, the process of trying to find it is almost more frustrating than just trying to be at peace with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Gosh. And do you know what hit you?
Yeah, it was a van. Yeah.
And they didn't stop?
No.
And they still haven't claimed? No. Okay. And there's no footage?
So after 35 days, CCTV footage gets wiped from the local systems. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that until this happened.
When you say local, you mean local authority?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's there for 35 days. If you can't get it, if the police don't deem your case like the most severe, they won't review it in time.
I think that's quite severe.
At the time, it wasn't severe because although I was resuscitated, I didn't die, like, fully, so.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So they didn't deem it important enough during that 35 days,
Yeah.
and then when they did deem it, it had gone?
It had gone, yeah.
Okay.
So
Gosh.
it's like another thing to make peace with.
But weren't there any other cameras, like shops and businesses?
No, because it was on a road that is basically a T-junction.
Right.
So it was literally only that one, like, speed camera almost. Like,
Okay. Gosh. So, ramifications. So you ache in all the broken plate. And you can understand why you ache, because when a bone has to knit together again, obviously there's going to be scar tissue of that bone and the inside of that bone and the muscles and the ligaments. You must have torn so many ligaments and muscles. And all of that repair does create scar tissue. That goes in time, but especially if you're exercising, which you are every day.
Yeah.
And if you have things like massage will help reduce scar tissue, just agitation of where it's knitting, yeah? And you have booked today a 2.5 maybe hour treatment, and you're going to be having a full body massage with a facial and some facial cupping.
Yes,
You've
I'm
opted
very
for.
excited for.
Yeah, facial cupping is amazing. And while I'm treating you, I'm going to be looking for things that need a little bit of extra TLC. So any muscles that are tight, any areas that are too loose, we can be too loose. Or I might find some scar tissue. So I might work on those a little bit more. Any areas that are particularly cold, I know the blood isn't getting there. Any areas that, I know this sounds really strange, but I can tell whether they feel numb as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have numbness?
Yeah, so I have never, am I supposed to tell you where that is or not?
I don't mind, yeah, you can, yeah.
So basically one of the bones that broke, because this one broke in 5 places, this knee, one of the nerves was impacted. And I had a foot drop, so for a long time I had a brace holding up this foot to make it flat.
Yeah.
Since that, I've never actually ever had feeling from the knee downwards here, ever. So this foot gets very cold. My partner and my parents say it gets very cold often, but I don't know. So like if I put this foot in the bath first, if the bath is boiling hot, I don't know until I put the other foot in.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you can use the limb okay. So running and...
Yeah, it's just that but it drags a bit.
Okay.
Which is a bit annoying.
Okay.
So it's not as reactive, basically.
Okay. But you can get the muscle working okay.
Yeah, the calf muscle seems to be working pretty well. But as I say,
Okay.
it's like I always try and squeeze it really hard to see if I can feel it, but nothing's ever...
Oh, poor leg.
Yeah, I know. I do feel bad for it. I'm like, sorry. but yeah.
Okay. So, and the diabetes,
Yeah.
how are you managing that?
Type 1, I treat it kind of like a job. So I've always been very into health and wellness with the food that I eat and what I put in my body. It's more difficult as a woman with type 1 because hormones really impact your sugar levels. So cortisol and all these things can drive, having periods, all that kind of stuff can like increase your sugars up, which you wouldn't know until you were type 1. Like I had no knowledge of it. But I am very much in range basically all the time because I'm very active and I manage my insulin very well and I don't smoke. I don't really drink. So
you must manage your diet quite well then.
Yeah, very well. I'm very regimented with it. But obviously one of the impacts is that it can over time impact your feet and your nerves in your feet and then also your eyesight. So I'm just like really keen and also, pregnancy and stuff like that, which is something I might want in the future. So it's just like taking really good care of it basically, but it's very tiring.
Yeah, I bet it is. Like you say, it's a job. You've got a second job of looking after yourself, but even more than most people would have to. Yeah, I totally get it. But look, you've taken that on board. You're saying, yes, I am going to look after myself. You've really done your homework.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. And well done for booking a treatment like this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, some time for yourself as well. So, let's give you a nice massage.
Perfect, thank you.
We're going to have a look at which essential oils your body wants today.
Okay.
Bearing in what you've said, I'm just going to have a little look at essential oils. Yeah. So, bones, muscles, diabetes, memory. Memory. Hormones. Cold. Digestive. How are we digestively?
I could definitely use some. I'll take anything digestively help-wise.
Yeah. Okay. Just looking for cinnamon. It's here somewhere. Are you sleeping?
Not very well.
Because of PTSD?
Less like now. It's like more like anxiety about because my type 1 alarm will go off throughout the night. So if I have low sugar, I have to get up and eat sugar at like 3 a.m. So I'm just always tired, basically.
Thinking, is the alarm going to go?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's a bit like having a toddler, but you are the toddler.
I know.
Gosh. Okay. Right. Digestive. Black pepper. Coriander. Ginger. Clove, my mate. Patchouli. Lavender. Yeah, that's a good start. Give me a little finger and a thumb and hold. Lovely nails. In the other hand, can you hold that so the bottle is touching you? I'm going to come back to this and hold. Oh, we don't like patchouli. Get rid of that one. Let's try again and hold. Oh, what a difference. Can you see? Organic lavender. Lovely.
I do love lavender.
Yeah?
Fair, yeah.
And hold. But it's whether your body likes it. Whole leaf.
What's that? Oh, it smells nice. I like that.
I like whole leaf. Got a few more to go. And hold. Oh, try that again. That was... And hold.
No, I was holding it.
Absolutely loose. So that's coriander. You do not want today, but that's just today. Don't let it put you off coriander. Yeah. And hold. Oh, how different. Gosh, you're really responsive to this. Ginger. So far we've got a nice mix. And hold. Lovely. Another one. So that's cinnamon leaf. And hold. Strong again. We've got a few now. Got a choice. Got black pepper. Good stimulation wise. So I'm thinking the feeling of your leg, but also digestively. Black pepper's really good.
Yeah.
Stimulating the circulation.
Yeah.
So the bottle's touching you.
Oh, sorry.
And hold. No, we don't want basil. Basil can be good for memory. And hold. Rosemary too. So I think would like to use rosemary today. And hold. Oh, very strong. Clove. I love clove. Okay. Very rarely fails with anyone because it's just so good. It's like pressing the restart button. So we've got quite a few to choose from. Do you have a preference? So we've got lavender, clove, ginger, whole leaf, black pepper and rosemary. I'll use like 4 today.
4. I definitely want to use the black pepper.
Yeah.
Because I've never had that before. Yeah, for sure. And then I'm happy with any of the others. Like I love lavender and cinnamon, ginger, rosemary. I've never had no leaf, so I don't know what
Whole leaf.
No
Yeah.
leaf, whole leaf. I'm happy with any of
Yeah.
those now.
Okay. So I'm thinking black pepper, lavender clove, and cinnamon.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. This will pack a punch. Let's just try a little bit on you. Just reveal an inner arm. Smell that?
Oh, it smells good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the smell of that a lot.
Great. Okay, so if you would like to get undressed, put all your clothes on the top of the radiator, ready for later.
Yeah.
I will prepare the couch for you and I'm going to leave the room.
Okay.
Take the big towel, the lower of the two, and vaguely put it over the back of you and do a Superman and lie down on the couch with the towel over you. You're leaving earrings in, I presume?
Yeah.
You've got a lot of jewellery there. Are you happy with me?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, go for it.
They're
Yeah.
not recent?
No,
or-
no.
Okay,
All good.
I
You're
could
all good.
massage.
Yeah.
And your nose as well.
Oh, my nose ring. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, you're good. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
I can take it out if you prefer, but I'm fine with it. And would it be easier if it's out?
Maybe the nose ring, but I can cope with the ears. Yeah.
There's quite a lot in there.
Yeah, there are. It has happened before.
Okay.
Just applying some oil. So just spreading the oil around the body. So Courtney, 3 nice long breaths. And then starting off with a lovely warming effleurage. To introduce my hands to the whole back, neck and shoulders. Around the shoulders, down the sides of the body where there are so many lymph nodes. Pushing deeply into the soft fascia between the scapula, lightly down, strongly up over the waist, ribs, thoracics, trapezius, down, triceps. And then coming round to a reverse effleurage. So, Courtney, this is your time, no one else's. This time belongs to you. And you have given yourself the gift of lying on this couch for a good 2 hours just to completely relax and let your body heal. There may well be thoughts that appear in your mind, and those thoughts are yours. They will come regardless of whether you don't want them there. So imagine you are simply an observer, like watching the sky and the clouds. And watching those clouds as if you are simply observing them arrive in the sky and leave. And then, at a later point, you'll find yourself floating like a cloud, just somewhere utterly beautiful, without thought, without stress, no worries. Simply being. So I'm applying a medium to firm pressure at the moment, but in quite a slow, therapeutic manner. Is the pressure okay, Courtney?
Yeah, perfect.
Good, okay. And this enables me to see what I can find while I'm treating, in case there are any areas that need more time. But also, the feeling of the massage is then slow and time given, caring and meaningful, not rushed. And then 2 hands splitting over those top of the trapezius, pushing with strong thumbs the fascia, rolling it round over the top in between the scapula. Feeling a little crunch there. It's interesting, so the right hand side feels stronger, more bulky. Maybe because you're right-handed.
Yeah, and I think there's no plate on the right hand side, so I don't know if it's just stronger because it's carried me further. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
And yet the left feels crunchy. So you've got strength, more bulkiness here on the right, a little bit weaker but crunchy on the left. So I'm just rolling those forwards, getting rid of any of those impurities that are sitting in there. And this is a really good way to get rid of those. Pushing them over, and the skin has gone beautifully rosy. That's what we want. Shows the circulation is being boosted and the blood is helping us clear and stimulate this area. And then once agitated, just pushing them up and over with a nice flat hand, especially using the palm. And then over the scapula. Beautiful flat plate of bone where toxins and impurities happily sit on top of that plateau for a very long time, if not agitated and moved on. So having warmed and cleared, now using knuckles while pinching the bottom of that angel wing here, in fact raising it slightly, and then agitating and moving them up and over. I'm using my thumbs as flat, like knife edges, to just run over the scapula, moving them forwards. And then they'll go to the lymph node in the front, in the chest, to be removed from the body. Same on this side, up over the scapula. That's it, lovely, beautiful. Relaxing the arm and the shoulder in order to lift that scapula, ready for knuckling. That's working really well. Rosiness just coming. Maybe using fingers as well. These can go in a little deeper. And then over. Working around the edge of that scapula, pushing to the armpit or up over the shoulder into the chest. Now looking at the corner between shoulder and neck, picking up that trapezius and pulling it round. Just relaxing that muscle as much as possible. I know it's difficult. Go heavy, heavy into the couch. And then pulling that one up and over. And then pushing it back down. Using a little finger to anchor while all the other fingers pushing forwards. Seeing how that neck feels at that base, quite tight here. Okay, same this side, pulling up and over. And then pushing forwards. And there's still a bit of crunchiness, but it's a lot better than it was a few minutes ago. That's good. And then making sure the lower back is still warm, coming down, hands together, pushing, warming up over the kidneys, liver, over the lungs and heart, gently back down. Pancreas. So, giving a lot of thought and intention for the pancreas during this treatment, so that the pancreas feels loved and not cast aside because it's not doing its job quite as well as it could have been. With the diagnosis of the diabetes type 1, and then knuckles to kidneys. This will warm the whole body. Pushing up. So raising the energy of the kidneys, pushing up. Feeling they're a little bit tight and tense because the lower back can go tight and painful, achy here. This can be to do with the kidneys, so just getting some warmth, rosiness, some movement, softness here. Feeling better, that's good. And then 2 thumbs going to come all the way down the spine with some neural organization technique where we're pressing into each side of the spine in between each vertebra with an out breath deeply in and towards the spine. And then covering the same line with flat thumb pads, one moving, one chasing, moving downwards, all those lymph impurities once more in the correct direction to the lymph nodes that are inguinal, meaning down in the groin area. And repeating with thumbs to the right side. And then a warming effleurage again, up and over. Bringing the energy up, shoulders, neck feeling beautifully warm, rosy, circulation boosted. Kidneys feeling soft and massaged. Now needing to give some attention to the sacrum and hips. Massaging firmly with flat knuckles over the sacrum, pushing again. This is another flat plate of bone, just like the 2 scapula. And again, toxins sit very happily there for a very long time, if not moved. So warmth coming in now.
How do you sort that if you know how a lot of people have lower back pain?
Yeah.
If you can't, because you can't massage it yourself, right? I think that's just put you on it. Let's say if you sit at a desk a lot or something.
Your hands can probably reach there. There are probably some techniques you could do. I don't know if you could do this exactly. Let me have a... so the way I do my own back, I'm just going to show camera, is to turn around and use two fists, and you're using like the open side of the fist where the finger and thumb are touching, and then you'd move that area into, and actually, because we're very strong, you know, we can create quite a lot of heat there just by slowly and firmly working those soft fists into this area. So you can do it yourself, and you can bring it up and do the kidneys and this area here. So here's the waist, just above the waist, either side are the kidneys. In fact, the right kidney is slightly lower than the left because of the big liver in the way on the right hand side, but basically either side of the spine, just above the waist. So soft fists here and up here, and palms around the hips like this. So you can do this to yourself. And, you know, we've got these beautiful iliac bones here. And these iliac are, again, they're like flat-ish plates of bone. And they love being massaged. They love being moved. And, of course, walking is a figure of 8 movement for the hips. They love a bit of symmetrical walking. Doesn't help so much if we're carrying shopping bags in one side, or you know, got a backpack with only one arm loop through, and we're walking a little bit off kilter. It helps if we're walking symmetrical. So do bear that in mind when you're carrying things or walking a strange way. Just arms loose if possible, not in pockets, unless it's very cold, then have some gloves on. And then walking in that beautiful figure of 8, and your hips will love that. That's really good for the lower back. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then coming up to the waist, splitting hands, pushing all the way down to the couch, down. Yeah, nice and warm here now. Nice and firm. Beautiful. Just going to introduce some more oil. Nice and warm oil. And then coming up over the ribs, having a little check and a clear, seeing what I can find here. Any tightness, but it feels really nice and loose actually, that's good. And then row of soft, not too firm finger pads, moving that lymph towards the lymph sites in the sides of the torso. Same on this side, scissoring. Row of fingers down. Just over the ribs. Nice. And then fanning. Firm at first, well, sort of medium pressure. And down the arm. That's where everything we don't want in our lives comes out. Out, down the shoulders, arms, out through the fingers. Really sensing that's what's happening. Out, out, out. We don't want those things. Gone. To be beautifully absorbed by Mother Earth, come back to us as goodness. And then fanning. And then slightly lighter. Slower and lighter still. And this is because the lymph works just underneath the surface of the skin, and if we push too hard, we're not working on the lymph system at all, but maybe circulation or muscular. But if we just want to work on the lymph, which is an aromatherapy massage, then we're working quite superficially, meaning on the surface. Starting again nice and firm to the right, down that hand and out. From the chest, from the heart, from the lungs, that which is contained in our heart, in our lungs, that we breathe down and out if it does not serve us. And then slower. And lighter. Coming back for a scooping up massage. Putting my body weight over the top of the body to really give the whole spine a stretch. That's something that feels so good. And coming back to the start for a sacral cervical stretch. Nice warm towel. And that just gives you the feeling of everything is okay. Everything is okay.